Hey, what is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time. I haven't done a story time in literally like ages. So before I hop into this cheese mess sesh, because I know y'all love the cheese man, if you guys aren't already subscribed to my channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on my post notifications so you are notified when I post, because I stay posting unexpectedly, so you want to be notified, boo. And most importantly, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get on to this story time. As you can see, Gabriel's in the back, he's chilling. I'm gonna be doing a story time today, and the story time is gonna be about the time I got fired from a billion-dollar company. And so obviously everyone knows of Amazon. Like, if you don't know what Amazon is, then you're literally living under a rock or something, because who don't know what Amazon is? A lot of people that do know me in real life knew that I was working at Amazon for I want to say like 2 months. So I started back in September of 2018. So I got fired on November. I have the actual date because I actually have the video of me getting fired, which I'm gonna insert later. On the 29th at 8:30 in the night is when I got fired, when I got the phone call. So basically, I'm gonna be telling my side of the story, because unfortunately I cannot sue Amazon, because I already talked with lawyers and I already discussed all that, and they're protected by this law. So the reason why I waited to do this video is because I didn't want to just let it out there right away. I wanted to, get some information and a lawyer's point of view, because I wanted to take it to court, but I cannot sue them because Amazon is protected by a dumb law. Anyways, let's just jump right into this and let me tell y'all everything, that happened. Go to work and it's a normal day at work, whatever. So we're working, and there's this other gentleman there that, like, a lot of people were scared of him, and a lot of people were like, he basically was a normal employee just like myself. He would always boss around people, and he would always just, a lot of people were like frightened by him. You just have those people at work where it's like they're an employee but they act like they're like a manager, and you're just like, okay, you just let them be. So that's basically this situation, how it basically was. So I was working at the time with Gabriel. We actually worked the same shift, same floor, everything. Literally, we worked together. I know, right, goals? This individual that I was speaking about earlier made contact with Gabriel, and he was walking with a cart, and he almost hit him with a cart. Yes, my man right here, right? If anyone comes for him, obviously I'm gonna come. Like, I'm the mama bear. This is mine, period. So he almost hit him with a cart, and Gabriel told me, and Gabriel, Gabriel's not a fighter. Like, he's not a person that's really like me. I'm wild, I'm lit, I'm ghetto, I'm loud. Okay, that's just me. That it comes with me. Like, when he told me that, I went walking right to him, then passed by my PA, another manager. I always forget what his title is. They were trying to talk to me while I walked by, and I literally was walking by and I hushed her, like, and I honestly, the person I hushed, I really do appreciate her. Like, she made my time at Amazon poppin'. Shout out to you if you're watching. Love and miss you, boo. So I went and I told him, I was like, in a nice, proper manner way, like, hey, you almost hit my boyfriend with your cart, next time be careful, yada yada. And I started walking away, and right away he was just like, no, I'm sorry, just apologizing and stuff. So I was like, okay, and I kind of felt bad afterwards, because I was like, oh, he was sweet and he was nice. And this individual, I've never had problems with him. Like, he's always been respectful and nice to me up until this day. So that's why I was kind of shook in a way, like how everything went out and played out. My job that I was doing was an indirect role, and basically I'm pushing totes. It's the most easiest job in the world, literally easiest job in the world. I'm doing it with somebody else, and we're both pushing them. And that individual, he was working like in a workspace right here, and there was a pathway you're meant to, go on. Like, there's a pathway they specifically have for you to like go on. So I ended up going with my cart or whatever, and he had a cart in the way, but I just went around whatever. Like, I kind of hit it, but it was like, okay, you're not supposed to be stopped in the way. Like, this is for traffic. Like, people are always walking with pallet jacks, people are always pushing big things. Like, it's not meant for stuff to be just parked there. So after lunch, this was literally right before 2:30, because that was when we had our last break. I haven't talked about this in so long, because it's not like a trigger point, it's just really disappointing, because it's like people really do get discriminated every day, and it's like there's so many stories that get untold, unheard. Like if you literally look up Amazon discrimination stories, there's plenty. There's literally thousands that are like way worse than mine. Literally they're just not even acknowledged or nothing. So that's why in a way it's kind of sad. And the saddest part is the person who did terminate me was also a homosexual. So in a way it's kind of like, dang. But you know, haters be haters. So me and this guy are doing the totes, we're walking, whatever, and he had brought up the guy and was saying like, you know how he's being like, you know, a douchebag, whatever. And he was like, oh, also to mention, he's all referring to you as fruitcake. He's been calling you fruitcake this whole time. And with me, that is so disrespectful. Like that was literally, I didn't hear fruitcake. I heard like that. I heard faggot, period. That's basically what you're trying to say. And that's, you're not going to come for my sexuality because I've been through so much for people to know. So I shot that down real quick, honey. So it's embarrassing, and I'm really embarrassed about my actions, and I knew in a way I was gonna get terminated because of my actions. I'm not even gonna lie, I did let this individual get to me, and he literally made, like, I got, you know, when I used to live in California, like all my hoodness, like it all came back. All that ness just came back, and he got to me. So right when he said that, I turned around and I literally was sprinting. Like, I kid you not, when they look at that film on the camera, you literally are just seeing me run. Like, it's so funny. So I was like, what the hell? So I literally sprinted and I went to try to find my PA, and she was in a meeting. So I started to like ball my fist, and I started to get like my eyes watering. You know when you just get mad and it's one of those trigger points, or those sensitive, it's just one of those sensitive spots that like if somebody goes there, like it just brings back so much that you've been through. So that's what it was. So I was already like, you know, starting to cry. My fists were balling up, and I was like, wow, like what? Like really? So I finally found her and I told her what happened, and she was like, no. She shut it down real quick. Shout out to her. And she was like, you know what, go to the restrooms and they're gonna go and get him. So I was casually walking to the restroom, and before I got up some stairs, because Amazon stays having stairs, like whew, it was literally a workout. I thought to myself, and I was like, you know what, like I'm not gonna sit here and let this individual disrespect me and me not be able to say nothing about it or defend my name. So I turned around, I'm walking, I turned around and I started walking that way, and I went over to where he was at, and I just blacked out, you guys. I blacked out. I just told him off. Like, I don't really remember what I said because it happened so fast. Like, and I, you know, blacked out because of anger, and it just happened so fast. But I do know for sure I was saying stuff like, everyone all up in here is scared of you. I may not be scared of you. I'm not all these, and like I'm not scared. And the whole time I kept doing this with my fist because I'm angry. If you don't know, I was involved in a hate crime a few months ago. So obviously that, all that energy and all that negativity just came back in all those dark moments. So obviously it was really a moment for me, and this was the first incident like that has happened after that. So I didn't know how to handle it. Like, I was just crazy. Next thing you know, I was screaming. I'm not even gonna lie, I was yelling really loud, like screaming to the top of my lungs. Like I was just screaming like I was gonna turn green into the Incredible Hulk. Like it was just crazy.
You turned green.
Oh, and by the way, Gabriel was there too. He was working, and he came right away once he heard everything. And so I ended up, you know, doing that, and the whole time I'm speaking my mind to him. The other big manager is in front of us, like in front of us, and his face looked really scared too. I was just there looking at his face, and he looked like, oh my god, like, and I'm like this compared to that guy. Like he's way up here, he's big, he's buff, like let's be real, one punch, if he would have hit me once, I would have been out like a light. Like I am not scared to say that, but like no one is gonna come for my sexuality. I don't care. Like that is one thing. No, Fatty Chris does not play about that. So I ended up, you know, walking away, and all these types of managers, like everyone literally from like all the different floors came up, like literally everyone, like what's going on, okay, like whatever. So they ended up taking me into a room, and I wrote a statement, and I got everything down. 2:30, and it was literally right at 2:30, like I went in there, so they had a break, whatever, yada yada. I went in, I wrote my statement, I said everything that happened, then they ended up moving me to another side, and then, you know, we ended up going home for the night. And literally that night though, like all the people I've seen were asking like, are you good? Are you still employed by here? Like just so many questions, and it was honestly irritating because I'm like, y'all need to mind your business, because literally like all the floors in that, it's like high school, y'all. Amazon is literally like high school. All the floors up in there knew all my business, and people that I didn't even know coming up to me like, you good? Like I do get it in a way, like it's respectful, because you know, like you shouldn't, you know, disrespect somebody's sexuality, but you know, there's limits. Like there's gossip. It's not like coming to like trying to love and, you know, be there for you. No, it's like I'm gonna come get some info and go spread it over here, sprinkle some up in HR. Like, no, boo, no. Next day I went, oh my god, y'all, this got crazy. So I'm there, right? They end up separating us again, whatever, we're doing our shit. So when we had our first break, so me and Gabriel were separated at this point. So I was looking for Gabriel and he was writing his statement because he was a witness with everything that happened. So I was like, okay, whatever. So as I'm looking for him, I go downstairs and I go into like the break room and I walk past these group of girls, and this girl, I don't know why, like I don't even know who she is. Like you're probably watching right now, hey boo, like you're a fan, like you're legit a fan. I'm walking in, y'all, and as I'm walking, I'm looking cute. It was Wednesday too, wearing all pink, looking cute and snatched, and her mother and like some other girls, and they literally turn as I'm walking in the double doors, and she literally says to the other girl like, oh my god, did you hear what happened to him yesterday? And I literally was just like, okay, whatever. Like I didn't pay no mind, I just was walking. I was like, whatever. Looked in there to see if Gabriel was in there. Y'all, as I'm walking out, oh my goodness, y'all, as I'm walking out, I was furious, by the way. Like, you know, I open the double doors and I'm looking at them, and literally her mom is there like this. Like, I kid you not, she's there like this. And I'm walking by and I'm just looking like, and I roll my eyes. I look directly at the camera. She had her flash on. Like, honey, if you're gonna record me, don't put your flash on. Like, what? It's just like this, y'all. Like, I'm gonna do a recap. She literally, I walk out, she's there like this. So I was just like, ew, what? So I just went and I seen like a manager, and I told him like, hey, you know, I think they're taking pictures of me. I don't approve of that, yada, yada, yada. I went to where Gabriel was writing his statement. I had went over there, and the person that terminated me was there, and I had mentioned to him like, hey, I honestly broke down. I was so stressed because it's like I'm at work and I'm getting harassed. I got bullied. Like, I don't even know who this girl is, and she's over here taking pictures of me and she's gossiping. Like, girl, what? So I told him exactly what happened, and he was like, you know what, you can go home for the rest of the night. And I was like, you know what, thank you. So I ended up going home for the rest of the night, and as we're walking out, this girl was walking up the stairs and she seen us. She came back down and she literally was walking to me with, like, I don't even pay her no mind, y'all. Like, it's one of those type of persons where you just, I look straight and I'm locking in, and it's just like a chihuahua, like, so I'm walking and she comes literally up to me, and I'm just looking straight because I'm like, ugh, I'm not gonna even look at you and pay no mind to you. Like, what are you? Stop. So she comes up to me and she's like, hey, I don't know what your problem is, but nobody's sitting there taking pictures of you. The main manager in HR was right there, and I told him, look, do you hear what she's saying? And I just kept walking, and he dealt with her, yada yada. The day before I was supposed to go into work, I'm chilling with friends, you know, having fun, whatever, and I get a call and it's HR. I forgot to mention that the day I went in, when it was my Friday, but when I started my shift, like an hour into my shift, I did get pulled and I had a meeting with, I forget what he said he was, but all I know is he was someone higher up, whatever. I'm in my mindset, I'm thinking I'm getting fired, because when my manager came to get me, he didn't say not one word. We're just walking in, I'm like, okay, this is really weird and awkward, like I'm about to get fired, whatever. Walk in there and they're like, take a seat, and I just told them straight up, I'm like, honestly, I don't have time for this. If you're gonna fire me, like, can you just walk me out right now? So they were like, no, I want to get your side of the story, yada yada yada. See, I'm telling him what he wants to hear, because if you watch a video with no audio and you see a kid doing this, like, this is an intention to fight, and they have a really strict no fight policy, but they also have a really strict no discriminate policy, or even though I felt like that was not even used at all in any of this situation. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So, and I was telling him like, you know what, yeah, like my intentions were to fight, when they really weren't. I was just really stressed and I wanted to just let all my anger out. I didn't really want to hit him, because if I would have hit him, I would have been hit him, because I've seen him multiple times after that. Like, after that, he was really nice. He said, you know what, like, scratch that. Like, he got to know me, like, what do I like doing for fun? I mentioned YouTube, this and that. So if you're watching, shout out to y'all lost a good employee. Asked me the question again, were your intentions were to fight? And I was like, no, like they weren't. I just was triggered, and I did bring up I was involved in a hate crime, but in a way I felt like they didn't even look at that. Like, I felt literally like this should have been more investigated, because this is just crazy, y'all. You're gonna be like, no, wait until I tell you who ends up getting fired. Y'all are gonna be like, what the actual that? So then the day before I was supposed to go into work, I get a phone call, and I have the recording, so I'm gonna just let the recording play. Okay, yes. So I'm getting you guys are firing me because of the incident?
Because of the actions that you showed during your escalation, yeah.
Okay, but on the statements, it does say that that he was calling me a fruitcake, correct?
Yeah, so we we do have that in writing. Right?
Okay, no, yeah, that's all I need to know. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. Thank you. So you see, I got terminated because he said, you know, the way I acted and stuff, Dan like the way I acted and everything, and this is, I feel like this was the main reason. Like I said, if you see a video with this, you're gonna think, hey, that dude wants to fight, and they're really strict on their no fighting policy. So I accepted that I was gonna get fired in a way, and I was like, okay, it's cool, like everything happens for a reason, it's just a job, like I can go out and get money anywhere. Now, the person that told me that he called me fruitcake ends up getting fired too. So this is what I'm assuming, because I have a lot of friends that work at Amazon. Shout out to y'all if y'all are watching this. I have mad love for y'all because I did meet and make a lot of good friendships there, because there's so many people from different backgrounds, and just it was fun while it lasted. But they're saying, you know, hey, this guy's not here anymore, this and that. So I'm assuming he probably ended up getting fired for like instigating it or whatever. But the individual that called me a fruitcake didn't get fired. So salty for a while about it, like maybe a day, but I ended up getting over it because, like I said, money comes and goes and everything happens for a reason. That just wasn't my path. God knows what he's gonna put me on the right path to. So that is what happened, and it literally has been. So you guys, that is the full story on what happened, and I'm finally glad I'm putting it out there so I could just stop talking about it. Like, obviously, me being me, trying to go up against a $1 billion company is like obviously not gonna, you know, make a difference. I decided, you know what, I have a little fan base, you know, I have a little voice, why not let y'all know what really happened? So yeah, well, be woke, because a lot of discrimination still happens, and a lot of hatred towards LGBT, different skin tone, all types of hatred still happens today. So you never know what somebody's going through. So always remember to treat everybody with respect and treat people how you would want to be treated. You never know. What if you're walking down the street and somebody's walking with their head down, and you just look at them and smile, and they're on their way to kill themselves or something, and you make their day just by them smiling? You never know. Have y'all read that book? Y'all should. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see y'all later. But before I'm out, so y'all already know, remember to stay classy, never trashy. Fatty Chris loves you, except if you're Amazon.